Today, in Barquillo Street, number 25, in Yusto Engineer Gallery of Madrid, a branch of the Marbella Gallery, we have an important show of POW MARTÍNEZ, Grandiose Delusions in D minor. This is a Philippine painter who was born in 1983. So with 41 years old, he introduced us in this solo show in Madrid with this big canvas. As you can see, there are very wild paintings that touch many different subjects, from mythological things and our modern society characterized by these crazy, mad characters. Small sizes and big ones build up this work of this contemporary Filipino artist, known for his raw, expressive style that combines dark humor and an unfiltered look into the human psyche. So let's check it out, a little for art for you. Subscribe to my channel and let's start to enjoy these big paintings that show us his work that is characterized by bold, unrestrained brush strokes and an often chaotic blend of colors that create a sense of urgency and intensity. As he called, these are kind of wonderful nightmares. Well, as you can see, these paintings are kind of like primitive paintings, loose, raw, childish, as if made by children. Sometimes disturbing and naive, deformed or unfinished, but nice or funny, full of black humor. Yeah, let's get started with this kind of monster of the snow, maybe? Like a Yeti from the mountains? Those guardians of the Himalaya. Or maybe he's just a man with a suit of a polar bear. The humanoid figures of POW MARTÍNEZ, mixed with the environment present the conventional roles of the contemporary society. He connects reality with unreality, or two different realities, the true and natural one with that of the internet and the digital world. In this way, he combines everyday elements with other wilder and more atypical ones. Yes, as we can see, these paintings are kind of rough, crude, but at the same time, they're funny and very hilarious. This seems to be a kind of prisoner or a witch or a sorcerer with a small phantom. It seems to be part of a carnival at the same time in a contemporary bar, having some pizza, fishes, and drinking. Well, in this way of painting is very fashionable nowadays, to paint like children's. We can find Gabriel Grasle or Berfulana, who are painters very famous here in Spain, that works with the kind of painting that like children do, but knowing a lot about painting techniques and the way to paint, to synthesize the shapes, the human figure, or animals. Well, Well, this could be an Amazon, a wild woman, so wild like this, tigers or pumas in the forest, naked with his triangle pressed. In a way, they're very tender, warm, and with this kind of naive sense of humor that reminds me very much the Canadian-American painter called Philip Guston, that belongs to the New York school, contemporary of the abstract expressionist painters as William de Kooning and Jackson Pollock. But in this way, Philip Guston, he moved out from abstraction and he started to paint figures in a pop way, speaking about our contemporary problems. So, same as POW MARTÍNEZ do. Well, here we can see the kind of cowboy mixing androgyne man, female, spreading milk all around. Well, the artist's work stands out for the great expressiveness of his figures, with striking and exaggerated faces, which he presents in surreal settings that draw on diverse sources of inspiration and evoke dreamlike and fantastical landscapes with elements that may not belong to reality. The skeleton woman dancing in the air with this man vomiting. Yes. Or this eclectical woman who can do many things at the same time. Playing music and making gym. You can see this kind of oil painting with strong brush strokes. That could represent a kind of androgyne figure. Well, POW MARTÍNEZ is a multidisciplinary painter who also works with sounds media. So maybe here is the interest of himself working on that. Well, here we have another painting, Head of State, probably someone who has cut the head of a king. With these figures with blind eyes, smoking, seems like jokes, pulling the leg to the power. The snakes, the mythological figure of the evil. The woman. The woman holding this powerful head of this ex-king. Yes, the mythology folklore is coming here with a very famous portrait of Perseus after he cut the hair of Medusa. Well, a kind of Greek hero, but as well we have to remember the story that Medusa was a beautiful woman with a long hair and was raped by Poseidon in the palace of Athena, the other goddess. So Athena, instead of punish his uncle, she decides to punish Medusa, converting her in a monster And that's why she helped Perseus to kill her when she was sleeping, by the way. In a way, it wasn't a coward moment from him that he cut the hair of the monster. Not so many times these heroes are real heroes because the story is full of the vision of man, of the patriarch. And in this case, Perseus looks like a dumb with these big feet. In a way, he also becomes a monster. And as Nietzsche says, if you're following monsters to kill them, be aware of not becoming one. Yes, in this case, both of them looks like monsters. Some of his imagery, rooted in classical Renaissance themes, may allude to scenes like Salome with the head of Saint John the Baptist, or Perseus with the head of Medusa. POW MARTÍNEZ introduced 21st century pop culture into his paintings, creating a somewhat grotesque portrayal of social rules. This small painting is called Brainwashed. I like his humor. It's a kind of mocking about everything, pulling our legs. That's maybe the way you remain after watching Netflix or TV or being all day or being in front of the computer. As also he had some of the works of probably the pandemic moment of the COVID where we were retained in our houses, in the lockdowns, watching the computer all day long. So this way to be isolated with technological media, digital era, is a way maybe to become brainwashed. So yes, in these paintings, there is something grotesque. Contemporary cultural consumption appears in recurring demonic, hybrid, or mutant figures marked by the bright colors that define the artist's style. And some scenes may feel like nightmares, yet they are beautiful nightmares that reflect human actions. POW MARTÍNEZ in Yusto Engineer, Madrid, until middle of November.